Hi, Lauren here. In this video, I want to talk about your deep, dark stories. Sorry, I can't even say that with a straight face. Okay, my name is Lauren Gordon, and I'm a business mentor for online coaches who have high-ticket offers that they believe in and stories to tell. And what I specialize in is helping them attract clients to them by storytelling and sharing their own authentic stories on social media. And one thing that I get asked a lot, quite often, is, do I have to tell all of my stories? Do I have to tell my kind of secret, kind of dark stories that I don't really want to tell? So I want to break down this topic, and I want to give you my honest thoughts on this, and this might not be what a lot of people agree with, but I keep finding myself repeating the same thing. So I figured I'd make a video out of it and shed some light on this. So you're a coach and you have offers that you believe in, you want to make a difference in the world, you want to make an impact in your clients' lives, you want to make a lot of money doing what you love, you are in business for freedom, time freedom, family, just whatever. This is why you started your business. Most people who I attract, they are in it for the freedom and the impact. So, but with that said, whenever I talk to a coach who gets what I do, or they want my help with using storytelling to make more sales and get more clients, one of the first things that comes up is like, oh, but Lauren, I have some stuff like in my past, in my stories that I don't really want to put out there. So here's the thing. I want to say this first, is we are multifaceted human beings, and there are parts of our lives that feel very exciting and fun to share online with the world. And there are parts that we would rather pretend never happened. And there are parts that maybe we're still healing from, we're still working through, we're still in the healing process, right? For some of us, that's trauma. It's trauma in all kinds of different areas, right? But for most of us, whether you've been in business for a year, you just started your business, the thought of putting your stories out there for the first time, right, is a daunting thing, period. It's daunting, right? This is what I hear oftentimes, right? It's daunting, like, oh my gosh, that makes me nervous. Oh my gosh, what are people gonna say? What's the reaction gonna be, right? All those questions start to come up, and for good reason, right? So for me, of course, I have some stories that I don't share on the regular. I don't talk about in my brand. I don't talk about in my marketing. We don't use it as the forefront of my mission and what I'm here to do. And they're just stories that aren't used a whole lot. And that's not because I don't want to tell them, but it's more so because I know that it's not going to serve my ideal clients anymore if I did tell them. There are probably stories in your life, things that have happened throughout your existence, that you would rather not put online, and you'd rather not use in your marketing, you'd rather not talk about in your content. And there's this misconception that when somebody says you need to share your story, it means that you need to go out and like wring out your dirty laundry, right? You need to go out and put everything out to dry, including your traumas, including all the hardships you've gone through, including all the times that you wanted to give up, including all the times that you thought you were a failure, or you thought this or that, or whatever. Here's my take on this, right? If you have deep, dark stories that you do not want to share, but you want to use storytelling to grow your brand and grow your business and grow your audience and make more money and just grow your empire, you don't have to tell all of your stories. You don't have to. You don't have to tell the story of the time where you were 5 years old and you remember this thing happening and it was really traumatic and blah, blah, blah. You don't have to. You don't have to. What I prefer to do, instead of telling stories that are, they're all like, poor me, this happened, this is such a bad thing that happened, this was such a, traumatic thing, I like to look at it as a balance. I will share stories that might pull at some heartstrings naturally because they're pretty intense stories, and they might make people feel a certain way, and that way might be sad. But also I balance that out with stories of hope. And that's my favorite kind of story to tell. I like telling stories that I know will leave people feeling really good about themselves. And I know that you and everybody watching this and my clients, the people that come to me, all have stories of hope, stories of joy, stories of happiness, right? Or stories that at least resulted in happiness, right? So just like anything in life, I don't think it's any different when it comes to marketing. I think that a healthy balance is more than necessary when it comes to what kind of stories you're telling, right? Yes, you can tell those stories of the really hard times, the really, really dark times in your life. Your audience will probably surprise you, and the reactions that you get will probably surprise you. People will probably come out and thank you for being real, right? I've done that so many times. I can't tell you how many times I've shared a story and I wanted to share it simply because I knew people needed to hear it, but it was terrifying because it was something that kind of, I just wasn't fully like, yes, I should really post this. It was more of an intuitive thing where I knew people could benefit from it, so I just did it, right? But then there's those stories that's like, I really want to tell this. I love the story. This is, one of my favorite parts of my life. I want to talk about it. I want to show people that it's possible for them. Those are the kind of stories that I prefer. And those are the kind of stories that most of my clients tell. So I feel like there's definitely two ways to market your stuff and to sell your stuff. You can talk about your ideal client's problems, right? Problem, pain. Or you can talk about their desire that they want, right? Desire, right? Because people buy for one of two reasons. They're either moving away from a pain, they're trying to get away from pain, or they're moving towards a desire. So that's the two ways in which we can market our offers and appeal to the right clients. Now, if you're like me, I put more emphasis on speaking to my ideal clients' desires. I like telling stories of hope, stories that show them it's possible, stories that just leave people feeling good, right? And those same stories result in people wanting to work with me, right? And recreate the same results in their lives and their businesses. So, do you have to tell your deep, dark stories? No. Could you? Yes, you could. But it's really a personal preference. Both work, but just make sure if you're gonna go out and you're gonna tell deep, dark stories, just make sure you show your ideal clients, you show your target market, you show your audience that you've come out on the other side. We have to show the right people that they can trust us because we have come out on the other side. We have gone through the woods, we've gone through the thick of it, we've gone through the hurdles, the struggles, all of that, but we also come out on the other side. That's how people are going to trust you and see you as the authority, right? See you as the authority enough to want to pay you your high ticket premium prices. Join your program, join your coaching, hire you as your coach, right? So that's my take on this topic, on whether or not you need to share your deep, dark stories. One, for example, if I had to give you an example, is I've shared this story a few times in the past few years, but I would consider this one of my deeper, darker stories in my life, and that's the time that I had an eating disorder. And I've talked about this a few times, like I said, but it's not on the forefront of my marketing for a couple reasons. One, because it's not directly related to the results that my ideal client wants, right? My ideal client wants to grow their coaching business and they want to sell more high ticket offers, right? So my story of going through that and my process of healing and all of that is not directly related to the result my ideal client wants right now, at this point in my business. Maybe in the future, who knows? But right now, that story is not necessarily directly related. So I don't use that in our marketing a whole lot, right? That's really what I have to say on this topic. And I get asked this more than I thought I would, but it's a common question that I hear from coaches who like the idea of growing their brand through storytelling, and it feels authentic, it resonates, they get it, but they don't want to have to share all of it, all the deep, dark stuff. You don't have to. And maybe you'll get to a place in a month or a couple weeks or a year's time where it feels good to share some of those deeper, darker parts of your life. You know, maybe it feels freeing. Maybe you know that there's, you know, maybe you have an offer that's coming out that's related to those stories. I don't know. But right now, if you want to use storytelling to grow your coaching business and to sign more clients, you don't have to include all of your stories, all of the deep, dark stories. You just have to tell the stories that relate to your ideal clients and show them that it's possible to get the result that you are promising you can help them achieve. So that's why the stories that I tell now at this time filming this is stories of how building my coaching business allowed me to stay at home with my daughters and be a present parent for them. And, you know, I tell stories about how I went from 0 to 6 figures in my coaching business, because that is a result that my ideal client wants. The stories of how I signed my first few high ticket clients, the stories about how I sold my first group program, the stories of, you know, what my life is now thanks to being able to learn the skill of storytelling, right? Those are the stories that I tell in my marketing, right? I hope you enjoyed this. I hope that helped and provided clarity on whether or not you have to tell your deep, dark stories in order to make storytelling work for you. That's my answer, that's my honest thoughts. And if you want more help in growing your coaching business and attracting high ticket clients through storytelling, then you can click the link somewhere in this video. There should be a link where you can click it. You can book a call with my team and we'll sit down, we'll look at your business, and we'll let you know if we can help you do this, if we can help you attract high ticket clients by using your stories and using storytelling in your marketing. So click the link if you want more help doing this and you want more information on our Stories That Sell program, which is where my clients learn how to do this step by step. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you on the next one. If you'd like more support in doing this, if you're ready for guidance from somebody who understands this, who has been there, done that, you want to grow your coaching business, you want more high ticket clients, click that link to book a call. Otherwise, I will see you on the next video. Bye.